Hello students. So today I am going to start history first chapter, India in the medieval period, in which we are going to study about the history of medieval India. We are going to know about the different sources of the medieval period and also about the emergence of new social political groups and kingdoms. So, as you all know that our history is divided into three different periods: ancient, medieval and modern. So ancient you already have studied in 6th standard. Now in 7th standard whole we are going to study about the medieval history, in which you will study about different kings, kingdoms, then Indian rulers, then the rulers which came from outside, and so on. And then in 8th standard you are going to study about the modern history. So as we are talking about the medieval history, so broadly it is classified into early medieval and later medieval period. Why? Because the medieval history is a very long time period from 8th century to almost 18th century. So it is a very long period, thus it has been divided into two parts for studying purposes, that is early medieval and later medieval period. Early medieval period constitute to the Indian rulers, we will talk about the Indian rulers, and in the later medieval period we will talk about the rulers which came from outside like Akbar, Shah Jahan, Babur and so on. So in the early medieval period broadly spans from 8th to 12th century, and just after that starts the later medieval period, that is from 13th to 18th century. So again I am repeating, early medieval period from 8th to 12th century, and where we will talk about the Palas, Pratiharas, Rashtrakutas, Cholas and Rajputs. These were the prominent forces and they were the very dominant forces also during that time period in Indian subcontinent, and that is from 8th to 12th century. And then from 13th to 18th century, there the period starts of the establishment of Delhi Sultanate and extends till the reign of Mughals. So first Delhi Sultanate, after that the Mughals came. Now first topic is that changing names of regions in India, and you all know that in our first article of the Constitution of India, it states that India is, that is Bharat, we are talking about, shall be a union of states. So it has been written in the Constitution of India that India, which we know by the name Bharat, it is a union of the states, and the Republic of India is basically called Bharat. While Hindustan is mostly used in early times, like in Britishers period, the India was known to be with the name of Hindustan, and today these three terms are interchangeably used to refer to the political and national entity that is identified as India, like India, Bharat and Hindustan. The name Bharat, you all know, has been derived from the name of son of Dushyant, whose name was Bharat, and India got the name from that particular child, and it is clearly mentioned in the Mahabharata. And similarly the name India has been in use since the 17th century. We are using for our country the name is India, and later on, due to the river Indus, the name is later on has been derived from the Sindhu river, that is we can call it as river Indus as well. And the rulers in Sultanate and Mughal period. So what we were talking about, the later medieval period. Okay, So the rulers which were existing in the later medieval period, they called their Indian dominion as Hindustan. They used this word Hindustan, and but nowadays Hindustan did not carry the same meaning as it was earlier, and it has been mentioned by the Minhaj-us-Siraz also. He was a chronicler in the 13th century, and he used that term. Hindustan was used to mention only the parts of Punjab, Haryana and the lands between Ganga and Yamuna under the Delhi Sultanate. Only these three places used to come under Hindustan. Means they used to mention all these three places under the term Hindustan. Later on, in early 16th century, Babur used the term Hindustan to describe the geography, fauna and culture of the inhabitants of subcontinent. And then Hindustan, again with the synonyms of India, it has been used under the British Raj as well. But nowadays these all carry different meanings, and we call our country as India. Okay, so now our next topic is sources of the medieval period. So sources of the medieval period, as you might have heard about and studied in 6th standard as well, that there are basically two sources by which we come to know about our history. They are archaeological sources and literary sources. Archaeological sources are basically related with the architecture, and the literary sources basically related with the literature or any written work. So archaeological sources constitute to palaces, monuments, then fossils, and then coins, inscriptions, artifacts, etc. And the literary sources basically constitute to the ancient literature, scripts and literatures, ancient literatures, and also to the manuscripts. Now there are so many there are some information regarding the important foreign travelers are given in this blue column, so you please pay attention in that, and you all go through these all the foreign travelers and their accounts. And on the next page, page number 3, important medieval literature also has been given in green column, where you can find that which writer has given the which literature, so you have to learn them by heart. And next topic we are going to continue is emergence of new social and political groups. So during the time period between 700 to 1750 AD, that is Anno Domini, lots of number of rulers, they came into the subcontinent because of its wealth, and among such groups were the early Muslim invaders like Mahmud of Ghazni, Muhammad Ghori, etc. And Prithviraj Chauhan, he was the Indian ruler from the Chamana dynasty, or you can say Chauhan dynasty, and he was ruling in Delhi and Ajmer area, but he defeated they had a fierce battle and he defeated Muhammad Ghori very badly. Later on, Prithviraj Chauhan was defeated by Muhammad Ghori some year after. Prithviraj Chauhan was defeated by Muhammad Ghori, and his slaves were able to lay the foundation of Delhi Sultanate. So Muhammad Ghori and his slaves, they laid the foundation of Delhi Sultanate, and later on Delhi Sultanate was replaced by Mughals like Babur, Akbar, Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb, and so on. Next topic is economic changes. So there were so many changes came during those time periods, and the most important, because there were extension of agriculture was marked, and then the gradual cleaning of forest was done because to promote the agriculture and to expand it. Then regional markets have been flourished, so chieftains, then rulers, then religion influenced the peasants, and they started giving the taxes and all. And there were so many new and better technology also introduced in agriculture, and one of those technology is Persian wheel. It came to be used during that time period, and the spinning wheel also made weaving clothes very easier, and in combat firearms came to be used, and for writing paper was introduced. So these all were very important technologies has been introduced during those time period. First one is that in irrigation Persian wheel came to be used. Then in the spinning wheel made weaving clothes very easily. Then in combat firearms were used, and for writing paper was introduced. Next is region to empire. Then the early medieval period saw emergence of so many very small kingdoms as well, and they all the time they have a conflict between them, because one of that conflict name is tripartite struggle. It was between the Palas, Pratiharas and Rashtrakutas. It was during the early medieval time period. These Palas, Pratiharas and Rashtrakutas were having a conflict between them to own the region of Kannauj. Why? Because the region of Kannauj was very fertile and it was very prominent place. So because of that reason they have a tripartite struggle, means the struggle between three parties, which has been named as tripartite struggle. And in South India the Cholas were very powerful, and then in North India and Deccan, the large empire like Delhi Sultans and Mughals were there. So India was divided among the region wise. So the region has been converted into the large empires. And our last topic is religious traditions. So you all know that during that time period the religious traditions also have been manipulated, and a major development took place in the form of bhakti and bhakti movement. So the Sufi time also came, and as the Mughals and Delhi Sultans arrived in India from the Arab countries, thus they brought the one more culture, that is of Sufism and Islamic culture they brought in India. So at that time, during those time periods, Sufi saints also flourished a lot, and Bhakti movement started towards the devotion of God. So here I have finished my first chapter of history. You all please go through this, and if you have any problem you can message me on eCab app. Thank you.